The following podcast is an enticing media production.
Where the Nell have you been? Join us for conversation about life, business, and everything in between. Welcome to What the Nell, where we've got stories to tell. Here's your host, Nell Tice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the What the Nell podcast with yours truly, Nell Tice. I am very excited today because I have an extra special guest with me.
I don't know about all that.
By the name of Kenny, Kenneth, depending on whatever platform you happen to be on at the moment. Tice, also known as my husband. Welcome back to the What the Nell podcast.
Cheers. It's morning and we're having coffee.
Yes, it is. It is Sunday morning after one of the crazier weekends we've had in a pretty long time. And if we look like there's like extra puffy bags under our eyes or extra like wrinkly skin or something.
Or I haven't shaved in like 2 days.
Right, because we've been going nonstop.
Yes.
And are completely exhausted. And I gotta tell you, this is all we could come up with this morning.
This is what you're getting. For the good or the bad, this is what you're getting.
So we've stuffed Kenny in another room of the house because we were getting a terrible echo because we both have desks so close to each other in our studio, and here we are. So if you hear a cat meowing too, that might pop up at some point, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta get things done and not worry about how perfect or not perfect it is.
Pretty much what we're doing here today. So
yes, and if you're watching this on video, I keep looking at this on myself. I got bit by something in the middle of my forehead last night, and it's just...
Look, you can't see it. At least I can't see it.
I don't know. I feel like you can.
I can't.
But yeah, so it's a little bit of a hodgepodge this morning, but we're here. That's what matters. And we're kind of... I don't know, we're giving you a little bit of like a life update, half-yearly update, which is ridiculous because we're past the half-year point. But yeah, we're talking about all the things that basically we've been up to and where we're maybe hoping to go.
I have no idea where I'm hoping to go. I'm hoping... I'm honestly hoping for a very relaxing afternoon. So in the very immediate, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yes, that's today's goal. And a lot of times around here, we're really taking it day by day. And
every day we're taking it day by day.
Every day. So that's so I got the idea for this half-yearly episode. We both listened to a podcast called The Lady Gang, and they did a half-yearly update, and they talk about the goals, like where they are on their goals that they set at the beginning of the year. We set goals, but we don't really write them down, so remember what they are. So it's just kind of like, where are we at? What are we doing? Where are we hoping to be? But I think one goal that we've always had was to be more spontaneous, and I think we've achieved that.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how we live our lives.
Yeah, it's, I don't even know what to say to that. It's just, flying by the seat of your pants, as they say. That's like a term.
Yes, that is like a term.
That's pretty much what we do. But in all honesty, when you get to goals, like I don't know what goal I would do. I guess the goal is for the business to be sustainable, but I mean I don't know. We don't you can't chase fame. You can't chase money because it's not going to end well. So you have to keep plugging away and being consistent with the radio shows, with the podcasts, with everything else that we do. And you just hope whatever, there's Lucky.
I know, I can hear her. I don't know if she's coming through.
You just hope that it all works out. But I don't know what the end goal is, honestly. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have kids. I think our ultimate goal is to be able to do what we want to do, which is be able to travel whenever, wherever, that always was like the long-term goal, which I feel like will happen one way or another at some point.
I feel like it's location freedom is the long-term goal, because not like time freedom. I guess time freedom would be good too, but I mean time we kind of enjoy all this craziness, but to be able to just pack up and do it from somewhere else for a weekend and without any hiccup would be really cool. So
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that is the long-term goal, is location freedom. And I mean, I feel like it's, at some point we are getting there, and things don't obviously happen overnight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're just plugging away, which is awesome. But what are some things that we've done this year that maybe we didn't think we were going to do? Or I don't know, like what have we been up to?
Some of the radio stuff has just taken off.
I know. That is one thing I didn't really expect to happen so quickly.
Yeah.
Especially with your show.
I mean, with my show, at the beginning of the year, my show was only about less than 2 months old at that point, or around 2 months old at that point. And it was just, I was playing music and doing what we were doing and all the other stuff that we do. And it kind of has taken on a life of its own at this point, and it's drawn both of us in.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable, honestly.
Yeah, and for those that are new here, we're talking about Kenny's radio show that he has. It's a live radio show on Sandcastle Radio called Flip Flops and Beer, and it is a tropical rock centered genre show that's on Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And like all of the connections with the artists and organizers of events and all of that has happened, like just completely blown up. And it's just been amazing, as we've witnessed this past weekend when we were at the Pirates in the Harbor Fest in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and speaking of which, Hanover is a lot further away from Lebanon than I realized.
We didn't realize.
Holy crap. How's this place so far away?
It's basically, from us, it's like driving to Philadelphia in the other direction. And
yeah,
when we say far away, it's not far, but it's farther than we realized. And then last minute we were like, oh, wow, this is like really far. This is like, I don't feel like driving home late after this festival.
Yeah.
So my parents put us up for the weekend because Baltimore is apparently closer to Hanover than Lebanon is. And so we did that. But we went for 2 days of the festival.
Yeah. Day and a half, basically, I guess.
Yeah, a day and a half.
Because we had a packed day yesterday, so.
Yeah, we did. We went to a day and a half of the festival, connected with a lot of the artists and, like I said, the organizers of the event, of that one too. And then other radio stations were there as well, but we represented our company enTICEingmedia as well as Sandcastle Radio.
Yeah.
And then after the event yesterday, we went straight to the most prestigious event of the year in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania, the Lebanon Area Fair.
The Demolition Derby.
Yeah, but first we went to the Three Legacies wrestling show.
Yes.
That they held first time at the fair.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
It was a free event, open to anybody that was at the fair, and it went really well. The whole event, they were adding more chairs, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool to see growth like in action as something's happening. And I think that's pretty evident in what they're doing as a local business. You know, our friend Jesus is constantly out flyering and going to local businesses and all the things. And so, you know, that to see growth in action, which is basically just holding the event and consistently putting out more chairs because people keep coming in the doors. Yeah. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, it's really cool to see other people succeed as well, other good people succeed, because, you know, that's another goal. I mean, if you really want to talk about goals, it's a goal to have the people around you succeed. Yeah. And to have them be a small part of what you're doing and you a part of what they're doing. And, you know, like you say, collaboration happens at the top. Competition happens at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a recent episode that I did with the wonderful Bitsy McCann.
But it's very true. Completely true.
No, it's absolutely true, because you want to surround yourself with people that succeed just as, you know, you want to see yourself succeed. I mean, that to me is what success is being able to be a part of your own, but also a part of people around you. Because when they all succeed, you succeed, and vice versa. but it's just a really cool thing to watch and a really cool thing to experience. And you get to help lift each other up and help each other do that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think so. Those are the goals. I mean, if we're going to do that, the two goals: location independence and having other people around us win.
Yeah. So, I like that.
Those are our goals.
Okay, so now that we've
established the goals,
established current goals, let's backtrack a little bit because we went through the weekend, I guess you could say, which is great. But at the beginning of the year, I would say that we did not start off slow. We pretty much hit the ground running. We've been able to travel somewhere by plane once every month this year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can't be completely location independent, it's great to say that we've been able to get out and travel as much as we could.
Yeah.
I know I went to Florida at the beginning of the year and with my friend Christy to Cape Coral, which is cool because I'd never been to that part of Florida. We visited our friends Lauren and Craig in Tucson, Arizona, and where else have we been? Pensacola a couple of times already this year.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to know people now in other parts of the country and have, obviously travel is not a cheap thing. So we've been able to, make it a little more affordable by knowing people in other areas, which is nice.
Yeah. And we'll definitely be back in one or more of those places this year, I'm sure. And in a couple of weeks, we have a trip coming up to Minnesota for our first time ever.
Minnesota.
Yeah. So really looking forward to that. And it looks like we might get to Florida at least 2 or 3 more times this year.
I don't know. I really have no idea, honestly. It's just like I just look up flights and talking about that possibility in I guess like early to mid-October is, Tampa's super easy to get to for us.
Oh, so easy.
And it's cheap, it's easy, and so I feel like that's probably doable.
Yeah,
it's very doable. We just need to dig into it a little bit and, plan it. So
yeah, and, being able to travel hack and think about how to use your points and miles wisely and all those things. I mean, we talk about that on our Thursday night radio show on the road with Kenny and Nell every Thursday. And that's something that helps the process along quite a bit. So thankful that we've taken up that hobby. I'll call it a hobby.
Yeah, that's, so
something we've been doing for a long time.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. So what else have we been up to? Everything happens so quickly that it literally feels like 5 years ago that we did it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've covered it. We literally podcast, we do radio shows. That's literally what our week is consumed by. And then there's the not downtime, but is prepping for those things because you only see the 2-hour show or the half-hour podcast or whatever, but the prep work that goes into it is a lot. And so we like to we're going to talk about this. We like to go for walks. It's something we've really come to enjoy. Let's talk about that. It's something we've really come to enjoy. We walk together in the evening, almost every evening, and our phones stay at home, and it's just like a half an hour, and we're just outside. But it's great because we feel like we have no contact with anybody.
Yeah, it's, because we've been doing so much, our schedule, like we have to be very cognizant of the schedule that we keep. So when we put something on the calendar, if we time block like, an hour or two for something, it's got to stay in that time frame because there's so many different things planned. And radio shows and podcasts are not the only thing that we do. So FYI, when Kenny says, oh yeah, we just radio shows and podcasts, that's like not the only thing that we do. Kenny has a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I also run our business, enTICEing Media, where we have client work, which has also picked up this year, which is great. And we have different types of clients, and we have more YouTube stuff going on now, which is awesome, because that was a goal at the beginning of the year, was to invest more of our time and energy in YouTube. And
Find
so
a way to
that's
stay
great.
consistent with YouTube.
Right. Well,
is
I mean,
hard.
and from the client perspective too.
Yeah.
So yeah, and consistency with any of this is everything, and in anything that you do. But yeah, we also have the travel vlog, and that was the baby of, I'm sure everybody listening to this has probably heard the story. If not, then you should probably go back to, an old episode of What the Nell, another episode of Drunk Squirrel podcast, any one of the radio shows, anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, where was I going with this?
I don't know. You were saying that the radio shows and podcasts aren't the only thing that we do.
No, they're not the only thing that
they're
we do.
not.
Oh yeah. So now the time management piece is so important that, in order to recuperate from all of the things, and because we're exhausted at the end of pretty much every day, we have a couple of things that we do to recuperate. Since we have shows Wednesday night and Thursday night, usually Mondays and Tuesdays, depending on one of those nights, will be a work night, right? So we'll sit at our desks and catch up on more work and whatever. And then the other night, and sometimes I'll have a podcast recording, or we'll have a meeting or something like that. The other one of those nights is chill night.
Yes.
Do nothing. And that's so important. But no matter what night it is, even if there's a show, we do always take a walk, as long as it's, weather permitting.
Weather permitting, yes.
But that is the self-care routine throughout the week. And then on a Friday, we're usually busy. We have social obligations on the weekends.
It's true. Sometimes it's nice to have no obligation, though.
It's very nice to have no obligation, but we haven't had one of those weekends in a very long time.
No, we haven't.
So and sometimes we're traveling. That's when we start our travels, is on a Friday, and then we'll come back on a Sunday. So, then we're, out doing stuff, and we're usually filming or something. So it's constantly, there's something always happening.
Yes, there is. That's a fact.
So on the rare occasion that we do actually get a no obligation weekend, Friday night will usually be a date night.
Yeah, we try to do that once in a while. Probably not as much as we should, but
yeah, that's very true. And when we go do a date night, we go to Lidditz.
yes.
We go to 2 different spots in Lidditz.
We really enjoy it, and it's comfortable, and it's just, it's kind of just down the road. But yeah, we go to Per Diem first for happy hour.
Yeah.
And
They
then
have
we
a
go.
great happy hour.
Even on a Friday, they have happy hour, which is rare for a restaurant or a bar to have. And it's in the Hotel Rock Lidditz. So, and then down the road, we go to the Blackworth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And it's super cool. It's always a fun time.
Yeah.
And good food, and there's always people. We always sit at the bar so we can, talk to people and have more fun.
We always end up talking to somebody at the bar, at either place or both.
Yeah, it's one of the great things about sitting at a bar. You can just have more conversation with awesome people. We've met some really cool people sitting at both of those bars.
We have, yes.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah, and then if there aren't any obligations on a weekend, I mean, I tend to do some work on a Saturday for sure, or a Sunday, depending on what's happening. So if we're home, there's usually at some point going to be some work getting done.
Well, what that allows you to do is it takes some of the pressure off of the week and
Yes.
and the weeknights. So that is.
Yes.
It sounds like, oh, yeah, you're working on the weekend, but it eases some of the pressure of the coming week.
Yeah, it does. And it also allows, because my schedule can be extremely flexible. I have friends that don't have set schedules either. So on a Tuesday, if Christy says, hey, let's go do lunch somewhere, I'm like, yeah, let's go do lunch. So
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make fun of me. So, yeah, that's kind of the rundown. I think being more spontaneous, we've definitely achieved that goal. Being able to see other people succeed is a goal and be a part of that success. I just love who we're surrounding ourselves with and
Yeah.
the people, like, it's just really cool. I love
is.
that.
It
And
is.
I feel like we all succeed together. And I think too, I'm starting to appreciate smaller things, moments. No, this is so weird.
Is that bad for me?
No, no, what? I don't understand that. What are you talking about?
No, forget it.
No, this is.
What?
With you, I just can't. No, I'm starting to appreciate things like the other weekend. We did have a free Friday night, but it happened to be the release of Twisters.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
And I said to some people, I said, hey, nerdy friends, we're getting together and we are going to see Twisters. And everybody jumped at the chance and it was awesome. They were like, yeah, let's go and let's do it. And we literally took up the entire back row of a movie theater.
It was fun.
It was so much fun, but it's like one of those moments where it's like, yeah, I invited these people to come and see this movie, and some of them maybe even didn't want to see it or didn't even think about it, and they all came anyway. And it's just really cool to see. I don't know. I think I appreciate more of that type of thing too.
Yeah, that's cool.
The people that come to support you, maybe even like put their own feelings aside.
That's for sure. Yeah.
So there we are.
Well, this is a good place to soon wrap this up, because I just got the alert from my laptop that because it's not plugged in, that it's going to die soon, because it's been in the backpack because we've been traveling all weekend. So this seems like a good place to wrap it up before my laptop tells us we need to wrap it up.
Okay, well, we are at the mercy of said laptop.
But yeah, to your point, it's great when people came. They just wanted to hang out with us. Some of them didn't even want to see Twisters, but they wanted to like all hang out together with dinner and stuff, and that's what we did.
Yeah. So it's really cool to have people like that in your circle. So
It is.
Those are the takeaways from this short but sweet episode. And I'm sure that we'll have plenty of other opportunities to update you this year going forward. And we'll have plenty more things coming up to do and see and talk about and all the things. So to everyone listening, thank you so much for listening. Continuing to support this podcast. Also, make sure you support the other Enticing Media produced podcast, which Kenny is co-host of, The Drunk Squirrel. Yeah, you may find that really fun. It's kind of like bellying up to a bar and having a conversation with someone you don't know.
That's us.
That's it. So, and check out our website, www.enticingmedia, that's ENTICEING media.com, for more information about everything else that we do.
Yeah.
Keep up with us on socials. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can find Kenny on Twitter. I have Twitter, but I don't use it.
You can find us on YouTube.
On YouTube, the YouTube channel is Kenny and Nell. You can find us on
Radio.
Sandcastle Radio. All the places. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, unfortunately for all of you.
Fortunately or unfortunately.
Right.
I don't really care.
Right.
So thank you so much for listening. Make sure if you are not on YouTube, head on over to YouTube to watch the videos, like them, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening to this on your favorite audio platform, go ahead and leave us a review. That's how we grow here at the What the Nell podcast. So thank you to Kenny, Kenneth, Ken.
Thanks for
whatever
having
you
me.
want to call him. Yeah.
This is always fun to do.
Good. I'm glad. So yeah, thanks for being on. And thanks to all of you listening. And as always, I will catch you on the next one.
To learn more about how to tell your story, connect with Nell at enTICEingmedia.com. That's ENTICE enTICEingmedia.com. Thanks for listening to the What the Nell podcast.